would you be like willing to develop an artist yourself, like a coach?
He would have to be, because I was developed. I don't believe that I'm gonna find somebody that's how I'm gonna find you and you know everything. You understand what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen. So I was lucky enough to go through 50 watching Eminem. So I was smart enough to watch 50 while he was watching.
Right.
Because we come from
watching Dre.
South Jamaica. Yeah. Dr. Dre also. So whenever I went in the studio, I just took it all in, you know, and it just humbles you. You know, somebody like, what time is it right now?
9:30.
Eminem's in the studio.
And I was gonna ask you, you know, your album is titled "Hunger for More" too. Tentatively, are you still hungry? Because a lot of artists
skinny as hell right now. I was fat weight, man. Go back to 07. I was fat.
Because a lot of artists do, you know, get to a certain level and then they kind of lose that drive and passion. And I guess you didn't.
I think that regardless of how good I do, it's still gonna be something in me that drives me more. 50 Cent's success kind of like put like an aura that erased the fact that we are talented brothers. Like, I think that all the big moves that were made, people start feeling like, oh, well, they don't have to rap anymore.
Right.
So if 50 don't have to rap, Banks is man, so he good. And I think that that's what kind of like soured some people's opinion, you know, feeling like I'm Richie Rich. I got bills. I got my own moms. I got, you know what I'm saying, brothers. I got a lot of people to take care of. And if I don't work, I'm not the type to just to put my hand out when I can go out there and feed for myself. I honestly, I haven't spoke to Buck in a long time since the whole, you know, situation fell out. I'm not pretty sure what's going on. I've heard things, you know, throughout the media. I know what's going on with him the same way you do. You know, it's unfortunate, but that's how things go sometimes.
Now, he had filed for bankruptcy. What's your advice to someone, an artist? Because like you said, you invested in a studio the record company didn't even know that you had. What's your advice to someone to not end up broke after all the success?
I would say, for one, you know, that goes back to knowing who you are as a person. You know, you can't spin me on your meanings. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if 50 goes to buy a Phantom, I'm going to just get in the Phantom. You understand what I'm saying?
If I can't afford it.
What are you talking about? We're going to the same place, right? I'm going to get in your ride. You feel what I'm saying? If you want to feel any better, then just drive it.
Right.
Yeah, you get in the back. That's what floats your boat. But you can't spend me on your... When you come into the industry, right, you get so many opportunities, and then you get that money, and you're touring and stuff, so you don't know what to do with it.
Right.
You can't spend it back home on important things. So you spend it, you got big, stupid chains. I kind of blame myself. I drew the G Unit spinner.
Yeah.
The first one, freehand. With the.
So you drop that's like your
yeah.
tattoo?
I drew all my jewelry and my tattoos.
Okay, that's what's up.
So it's like, when I was doing that, I was just ignorant. You know what I mean? You just want the big old stupid chain because that replaces your face. You know, and it gets to the point where after a certain amount of success, your face becomes a jewelry. So it's just unnecessary. I wish I can go back and just rob Jacob the jeweler.
How did you actually hook up with Lloyd to do that record?
Oh man, well at the time Lloyd was independent, you know, just like me. And my record, I was in Germany and somebody hacked my email, and the record got leaked out and I was tight. And then as soon as I flew back home, I just called up Lloyd, and you know, he flew out to the city, did his part, about 15-20 minutes. It was cool, man. You know, I didn't know how it was gonna be, you know, meshing, but you know, that's a cool brother, man. And he always made good records, you know. And he's a workaholic, and you know, now he's over at Interscope, so I'm happy for him.
All right, I always wanted to ask this question. Everybody talk about, you know, you, 50, and Tony, your real tight crew.
Yeah.
So when 50 get these big deals, I mean, do we throw y'all a little something? Does the money come down to y'all too?
Trickle down.
That's what I was going to ask about that $200 million.
You got 200 million, 400 million.
Yeah.
I can't even get a 50 million. 50, I mean, God.
You know what's crazy is well, he just got the 20 million deal, so you know, I mean 200 million, so
yeah,
it's 20 million a film.
You know?
Yeah. Before this album came out, he was actually a little mad at me because he wanted me to shoot a film, you know, attach it to the record. So good thing is that I'm in the zone right now, and then I'm immediately going into the recording of my fourth album. So hopefully we can use one of them pictures to just launch my next album. That's how I want the money. I don't want it in my hand.
I feel. I just want to take it out of his
Put it back out of his spin.
Long as it's green, I want it.
Well, who
Put it
else
in the
have you
cup.
been working with on the album as far as producers and any other features?
On the production tip, Justice League did a joint for me with Jeremiah. I got this kid named Cardiac who did the Started Up record. Me, Kanye, Fabulous, Ryan Leslie, and Swiss Beats. Raekwon's on the project.
Okay.
Styles P's on the project. Akon, Eminem. Of course, 50 Cent, Tony Ayo's on there. Lloyd, Joel Santana. We pretty wrapped up, you know, good on this one, man. I tried to keep some of the same elements and then, you know, make it a little new for the 210. You know, but it's about, overall, it's going to be about 20 records that come out because there's a whole bunch of bonus situations. You know how that goes. So if you get it from iTunes, you'll get the Eminem record. If you get it from a particular store, you'll get 3 or 4 more bonus cuts. So, and we might relaunch too on top of the year.
That's what it is. It's a brand new jump right here. Started up. Tell us about this record.
This record happened. Well, Kanye had, you know, left a comment on Twitter about me and saying that he felt I was underrated as an artist, and you know, so once that is, I'm from South Jamaica, and you know he goes here. It's like, yo, get that in your let's do something now. And I went to the studio, and I was actually in the studio with Fab first, and we did our parts, and then I went over to Kanye's studio, and then John Legend's in there, Kid Cudi was in there, Ryan Leslie was in there, Pusha T, and I did a record for him for his Good Friday, which is Christian Dior Denim Flow is called. And that was all of us on the record, and then he played me the joint with Swiss, and I was like, damn, you know, and I left him the verse, my verse and Fab's verse, and he mixed it all together, and that's kind of how it all came about from a tweet.
So we about to start it up. So you on Twitter too, let's go. Charlotte's the #1 for Blaze and R&B. Brand new Lloyd Banks, you heard it here first, it's Power 98.